3 identical Korean men stood at the foot of my bed, and every single one of them was looking at me like I was their last meal. "Take off the robe," the one in the center commanded, his voice smooth as whiskey and twice as dangerous. My hands trembled against the silk tie. I thought we'd talk first. Get to know each other. "We'll know each other very well by morning," the one on the left said, his eyes traveling down my body in a way that made my skin burn. "Intimately, in fact." "The contract is very clear," Zara, the third one added, stepping closer until I could smell his cologne. "Expensive, masculine, intoxicating. Consummation within 48 hours of marriage." It's been 47 hours and 32 minutes. Time's almost up. I pressed myself against the headboard, my heart hammering so loud I was sure they could hear it. "This is insane. I don't even know your names." "You'll be screaming them soon enough," all three said in perfect unison. And that's when I realized, I'd signed away more than just a year of my life. I'd signed away everything. My name is Zara Williams. I'm 24 years old, Black, American, and exactly 48 hours ago I was a struggling nursing student in Atlanta. Now I'm in Seoul, South Korea, married to 3 mafia heirs who just paid $7 million to own me. And they're about to collect. Okay fam, before Zara's world completely falls apart, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now because this story is about to get absolutely unhinged. I'm talking dark, twisted, sexy, and completely addictive. Drop a like, leave a comment telling me if you'd survive being married to 3 dangerous Korean mafia brothers, and let's get into it. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. Now, let me tell you how Zara ended up in this nightmare. 48 hours earlier. "Miss Williams, I'm sorry, but without payment we can't proceed with your mother's surgery." I stared at the hospital administrator like she'd just spoken in another language. "What do you mean you can't proceed?" "She has stage 4 breast cancer. The surgery is scheduled for Friday. She dies without it." The woman's face was sympathetic but firm. "I understand, but the cost is $680,000. Your insurance denied the claim. Without payment or a payment plan we can approve." "A payment plan?" I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Lady, I'm a nursing student working 2 jobs. My mom cleaned houses until she got too sick to stand. My little brother is 17. We don't have $680,000. We don't have $68,000. We barely have $680. I'm very sorry." "Stop saying you're sorry." My voice cracked. Just give me a few days. I'll figure something out." But I wouldn't. We both knew it. I left her office and headed to my mom's room, trying to hold back tears. Mom was asleep, her beautiful brown skin looking gray and paper-thin. She'd always been so strong, so vibrant. Now she looked like she was disappearing. My phone buzzed. Another notification from the debt collectors. Another threat about our house. Another reminder that we were drowning and there was no life raft coming. Zara Williams? I turned to find an Asian woman in a suit that probably cost more than my entire nursing school tuition. Everything about her screamed money, the designer bag, the perfect hair, the way she stood like she owned the entire hospital. "Who's asking?" I said, exhausted. "My name is Mrs. Choi. I represent a very wealthy family in Seoul. They have a proposition that might interest you." "I'm not interested in pyramid schemes or—" $7 million, she said simply. I stopped talking. "That's what my clients are offering. All your mother's medical expenses paid. Her surgery, treatment, medications, everything. Your house saved from foreclosure. Your brother's college fully funded. Plus $7 million cash for you when the contract ends." My throat went dry. "What contract?" Mrs. Choi pulled out a tablet. "Perhaps we should speak somewhere private." We sat in a corner booth while Mrs. Choi explained the most insane thing I'd ever heard. The Kim family are triplets, 3 identical brothers, ages 28. They're heirs to one of the most powerful organizations in South Korea. Very wealthy. Very influential. Influential, I repeated. "You mean criminals." She didn't deny it. Their grandmother is 94 years old and dying. Her final wish is to see her grandsons married before she passes. Preferably to someone who will give her great-grandchildren to continue the family line. So they want to hire a surrogate, I said. Why not just say that? Not a surrogate. A wife. I blinked. Excuse me? They need someone to marry all three of them. It's legal in Korea under certain traditional circumstances. The marriage would last a minimum of 1 year. In exchange, you receive everything I mentioned. $7 million, all your family's debts cleared, your mother's complete medical care. My head was spinning. Marry all three? Like, at the same time? Yes. That's insane. That's the offer. I should have walked out. Should have told her this was human trafficking disguised as a business deal. Should have run as fast as I could. Instead, I asked, why me? Why a black girl from Atlanta? Wouldn't they want someone Korean? Mrs. Choi's expression shifted slightly. You fit very specific requirements. Age 23 to 25. Unmarried. No criminal record. Financially desperate. And... She paused. You must be a virgin. The grandmother is extremely traditional about this. Heat flooded my face. How do you even know that about me? We've been watching you for 3 weeks. We know everything about you, Zara. Your work schedule, your class schedule, your dating history, or lack thereof. We know you've been saving yourself, and we know why. Religious upbringing, personal choice, whatever the reason doesn't matter. What matters is that you fit their grandmother's requirements perfectly. This is insane, I whispered. This is human trafficking. It's a business arrangement. You sign a contract, fulfill the terms, and walk away wealthy enough to never worry about money again. Your mother lives. Your brother goes to college. You get your life back. And all I have to do is marry 3 strangers and let them. I couldn't even finish the sentence. The contract requires consummation, Mrs. Choi said bluntly. Within 48 hours of the wedding. There will be a medical examination to verify. I know it sounds archaic, but the grandmother demands proof that the marriage is legitimate. I felt sick. You're asking me to sell my body. I'm offering you $7 million to save your mother's life. What you call it is up to you. I went back to Mom's hospital room. Sat by her bed. Watched her breathe. She'd given up everything for me and my brother. Worked herself to the bone. Sacrificed every dream she ever had to make sure we had opportunities she never got. And now she was dying because we were poor. I pulled out my phone and looked at the contract Mrs. Choi had sent. 73 pages of legal language that basically said, marry these men. Sleep with them. Give their grandmother a year of believing you're a real family. Then take your money and disappear. 1 year of my life. For my mother's life. For my brother's future. For freedom from the debt that was crushing us. I signed the contract at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. By Thursday afternoon, I was on a private jet to Seoul. They didn't waste time. The wedding was scheduled for Friday morning at a private estate that looked like something from a Korean period drama. Traditional buildings, manicured gardens, security everywhere. I wore a white hanbok, traditional Korean wedding dress, that someone had custom-made for me. It was beautiful. I felt like I was wearing a costume for a role I didn't audition for. The ceremony was in Korean and English. I barely heard any of it. Then they entered. 3 men. Identical. Absolutely devastating. All around 6 feet 3 inches with sharp features, dark eyes, and bodies that looked carved from stone. Black traditional hanboks that probably cost more than a car. They moved in perfect synchronization, like they'd practiced this. The one in the front locked eyes with me. His gaze was cold, assessing, possessive. I'm Jax Kim, he said, his English flawless with barely a trace of an accent. The eldest by 4 minutes. Kai, the second one said, his voice slightly warmer. Middle child. Ryu, the third finished, and his smile was pure danger. The baby of the family. Welcome to the Kim dynasty, Zara. Each one placed a ring on my finger. 3 platinum bands with Korean characters I couldn't read. An ancient woman watched from a wheelchair, the grandmother. She looked at me with satisfaction, like I was a prize cow she'd purchased. Which, I guess, I was. The car is waiting, Jack said when it was over. We'll take you home now. Our home, Kai corrected. Where you'll be staying, Ryu added, his hands settling possessively on my lower back, for the next year. Or longer, depending on how things go. Fam, are you breathing right now? Because Zara just signed her life away and she's about to find out exactly what these 3 dangerous brothers have planned. If you're feeling this tension, smash that like button and drop a comment telling me, Team Jax, Team Kai, or Team Ryu? Let me know who you're rooting for. Their home was a penthouse that screamed money and power. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's skyline. Everything black, white, and chrome. Modern art that probably cost 6 figures. This wasn't just wealth, this was dynasty-level money. Your bedroom is down that hall, Jack said, pointing. Everything you need has been provided. Thank you, I managed, my voice small. Don't thank us yet, Ryu said, that dangerous smile back. The night is just beginning. My stomach dropped. What do you mean? The 3 brothers exchanged looks. The contract specifies consummation within 48 hours, Kai said gently. We were thinking tonight would be appropriate. Tonight? My voice went up. I just met you. I don't know anything about you. You know we paid $7 million for you, Jack said coldly. You know we're your husbands now. You know what the contract requires. That's all you need to know. I need time to adjust. You have 2 hours, Jax cut me off. Get cleaned up. Put on something comfortable. We'll be waiting in the master bedroom. They walked away before I could protest. I stood in the bedroom they'd given me, heart hammering. There was a walk-in closet full of clothes in my exact size. They'd clearly done their research. Designer labels I'd only ever seen in magazines. On the bed was a black silk robe. Just a robe. Nothing else. The message was clear. I showered, trying to calm my racing thoughts. This was happening. I'd signed the contract. Agreed to this. I couldn't back out now, my mother's surgery was scheduled for Monday. The money was already transferred. I'd sold myself, and now the buyers were ready to collect. I put on the robe. Looked at myself in the mirror. I looked terrified. Because I was. A knock on the door made me jump. Zara. Kai's voice. It's time. They were waiting. All 3 brothers had changed into black silk pants and nothing else. Shirtless. And sweet Jesus, they were built like they lived in the gym. Defined abs, muscled arms, the kind of bodies you see in magazines and assume are photoshopped. Except this was real. They were real. And they were all looking at me like I was dessert. The room was set up like a scene from a movie. Massive bed with black silk sheets. Dim lighting. Candles everywhere. Music playing softly. They'd orchestrated this. Come here, Jax commanded. I walked forward on shaking legs, my bare feet silent on the hardwood floor. You're scared, Ryu observed. Good. You should be. We're not gentlemen, Zara. We take what we want. But we're not rapists, Kai added quickly. Everything that happens tonight, you consent to. If you say stop, we stop immediately. Understood? Understood, I whispered. However, Jax continued, moving closer until I had to tilt my head back to meet his eyes. The contract does require consummation. So while we'll make sure you're ready, while we'll take care of you, this is happening. By morning, you'll belong to all 3 of us. Completely. His hand came up to cup my jaw. His thumb brushed across my bottom lip. Now, he said softly, dangerously, take off the robe. My hands trembled as I reached for the tie on my robe. I don't know if I can do this. You can, all 3 brothers said together. We'll help you, Kai added, his voice softer than his brother's. He stepped forward, his hands covering mine. Let us. He untied the robe slowly, his fingers brushing against my skin. The silk fell open, and I instinctively tried to cover myself. No, Jack said firmly, catching my wrists. No hiding. We paid for all of you, Zara. We get to see all of you. Ryu moved behind me, sliding the robe off my shoulders. It pooled at my feet, leaving me completely bare in front of 3 fully clothed strangers. Well, not clothed. But still wearing more than me. Beautiful, Kai breathed. Perfect, Ryu agreed, his breath hot against my neck. Ours, Jack said with finality. Now, let's teach you what it means to belong to the Kim brothers. They moved like they'd choreographed it. Jack's in front of me, Kai to my right, Ryu to my left. Surrounding me. Overwhelming me. First rule, Jack said, his finger tracing down my collarbone. You don't hide from us. Ever. Your body belongs to us now. Second rule, Kai continued, his hands settling on my hip. You don't lie to us. If something feels good, you tell us. If something doesn't, you tell us. Communication is everything. Third rule, Ryu finished, his lips brushing my shoulder. You don't hold back those sounds. We want to hear everything. Every gasp, every moan, every scream. Understand? I understand, I stammered. Good girl, all 3 said, and the praise sent unexpected heat through my body. Jax's mouth crashed onto mine. The kiss was demanding, possessive, claiming. His tongue swept past my lips, teaching me the rhythm. When he finally pulled back, I was gasping. My turn, Kai said, spinning me to face him. His kiss was different, softer, sweeter, but no less intense. Where Jax took, Kai gave. Then Ryu turned my face to his. His kiss was pure fire. Passion and hunger and something that felt almost desperate. By the time they'd each kissed me, I was trembling for completely different reasons. On the bed, Jax commanded. Lie back. Let us look at you. I moved to the massive bed, the silk sheets cool against my heated skin. 3 pairs of identical eyes devoured me. She's thinking too much, Ryu observed. We can see it. Stop thinking, Zara, Kai said gently. Just feel. How? I whispered. How do I stop thinking? We'll show you, all 3 promised. They climbed onto the bed in perfect coordination. Jax on my right, Kai on my left, Ryu settling between my legs but not touching. Not yet. We're going to touch you now, Jax said. Everywhere. We're going to learn what makes you sigh, what makes you moan, what makes you scream our names. And you're going to let us, Kai added. No holding back. Give us everything. I don't know how, I admitted. Your body knows, Ryu said, his hands warm on my ankles. Trust it. They touched me simultaneously. Jax's mouth on my neck, sucking, biting gently. Kai's lips on my shoulder, his hands splayed across my stomach. Ryu's hands sliding up my legs, getting closer to where I was starting to ache. My mind went blank. There was only sensation. They worked together like musicians in an orchestra. One would intensify while another backed off, keeping me constantly stimulated but never overwhelmed. Like they'd done this 1,000 times. Maybe they had. Just not with me. That's it, Kai murmured as I started to relax into their touch. Let go. Stop fighting it. Jax's hand moved to my breast, his thumb circling until I gasped. Perfect response. Do it again. Ryu's mouth moved higher, kissing the inside of my thigh. May I? He asked, his breath hot against my most intimate place. Yes, I heard myself say. God, yes. What happened next shattered every expectation I'd had about pleasure. Ryu's mouth was skilled, devastating, relentless. He found nerves I didn't know existed. Built pressure I'd never experienced. Meanwhile, Jax and Kai continued on my upper body, their hands and mouths working in perfect concert. Don't fight it, Jax said as I started to tense. Let it happen. I can't, I panted. It's too much. You can, Kai assured me. Let go, Zara. Show us how beautiful you are when you break. Ryu did something with his tongue, something that sent me over an edge I didn't know existed. I cried out, my back arching off the bed, pleasure crashing through me in waves. The brothers held me through it, their touches gentling but not stopping, drawing out my climax until I was boneless. That's one, Jack said with satisfaction. We're giving you at least 4 more before we even think about taking you. I can't possibly, I said weakly. You can, they assured me. And you will. They gave me only moments to recover before beginning again. This time Kai settled between my legs while Jax and Ryu worked my upper body. Kai was different from Ryu, more patient, more teasing. He brought me to the edge repeatedly, backing off each time until I was actually begging. Please, Kai, please don't stop. There it is, he said with satisfaction. We told you you'd beg. Now give us another one, beautiful. He sent me over again, and I screamed his name. When I finally came down, there were tears of pleasure streaming down my face. Too much? Ryu asked, concerned. No, I gasped. Not enough. I need more. Greedy, Jack said approvingly. Good. We like you greedy. This time all 3 brothers stood and removed their pants. I watched through heavy-lidded eyes, and sweet Jesus. They were identical everywhere. And they were large. Very large. Don't be scared, Jack said, noticing my expression. We'll make sure you're ready. Who's first? I asked, my voice shaking. I am, Jack said. As the eldest, it's my responsibility. But Zara, look at me, this isn't just duty. I want you. I've wanted you since I saw your photo 3 weeks ago. He settled over me, his weight comforting rather than threatening. Look at me, he commanded softly. I met his eyes. Dark. Intense. Hungry. I'm scared, I admitted. I know, he said, kissing me gently. But I've got you. Trust me. He entered me slowly. So slowly. There was pressure, discomfort, a sharp pain that made me gasp. Jack stopped immediately. Breathe. Just breathe through it. Kai's hand found mine, squeezing. Ryu kissed my forehead, my cheeks, distracting me. The pain faded. Jax moved deeper, inch by careful inch, until finally he was fully inside me. How do you feel? He asked, his voice strained from holding back. Full, I said. Strange. But not bad. It gets better, he promised. Just relax. He began to move. Slow. Controlled. Letting my body learn the rhythm. Kai's hands slid between us, finding where I was most sensitive, adding pressure that transformed discomfort into pleasure. Ryu's mouth found my breast, his tongue circling in time with Jax's movements. Impossibly, pleasure began building again. That's it, Jax said, his control starting to slip. God, Zara, you feel incredible. Faster, I heard myself say. Please, Jax, faster. He complied, his movements becoming harder, deeper. Kai's fingers worked faster. Ryu's mouth moved to my neck. The combination sent me over the edge again, and this time I pulled Jax with me. He groaned my name, his body shuddering. When he pulled out, I felt empty. Give her a minute, Kai said. But I shook my head. No. I want all of you. Tonight. Like you promised. The brothers looked at each other. Then you'll have us, Kai said, moving into position. Kai was gentler than Jax. More patient. He took his time, kissing every inch of my body, ensuring I was ready despite having just been claimed. You're incredible, he whispered against my skin. Do you know that? Perfect for us. When he finally entered me, I was ready. The discomfort was less this time. My body was learning, adjusting. Look at me, Kai said. I want to see your eyes. I met his gaze, found something soft there. something that looked like genuine affection. "You're beautiful like this," he said, beginning to move. "I could watch you forever." Jax and Ryu didn't interfere this time. They lay on either side of me, touching gently, but letting Kai lead. Kai made love to me slowly, building my pleasure with careful precision. He learned what I liked, what made me gasp, what rhythm made me moan. "That's it," he encouraged. "Take what you need. This is yours as much as it's mine." The concept was revolutionary. That I could take. Could demand. Could use them for my pleasure. "Harder," I said, more confident now. "Kai, I want to feel you tomorrow." "You'll feel us," he promised, his control fracturing. "Every time you move, you'll remember this." He reached between us, circled where I was most sensitive, and sent me over the edge again. Kai followed immediately, my name a prayer on his lips. "One more," Ryu said, and I could hear the hunger in his voice. "Can you take one more, Zara?" "Yes," I whispered. "I want you too." Ryu moved over me, but instead of settling between my legs, he pulled me up. "Different position," he explained. "You on top. That way you control the depth, the pace." He lay back, pulling me over him. I straddled his hips, suddenly uncertain. "I don't know what to do," I admitted. "Listen to your body," Ryu said, his hands on my hips guiding me. "It knows." I lowered myself slowly, taking him inch by inch. This position was different. Deeper. Hitting places that made me gasp. "Oh God," I breathed. That's intense." "Too much?" Ryu asked. "No," I said, beginning to move. "Perfect. This is perfect." I found my rhythm, building confidence with each movement. Ryu's hands guided but didn't control. Jax and Kai watched with undisguised hunger, their hands roaming my body, adding sensation. "Beautiful," Jax murmured. "Look at you riding him like you were born for this." "Take what you need," Kai added. "Use him. Use all of us." The combination of their words, their touches, Ryu's hands on my hips, it was too much. When my climax hit, I screamed, my vision going white. Ryu followed immediately, pulling me down onto his chest as he shuddered through his release. I was distantly aware of gentle hands cleaning me, soft voices murmuring reassurance, someone carrying me to fresh sheets. "Sleep," someone said, "Jax, maybe. You did so well. Sleep now." I wanted to respond, wanted to say something about what had just happened, but exhaustion pulled me under. Fam, if you're still breathing after that, drop a comment right now. Are you Team Jax, Team Kai, or Team Ryu? Hit subscribe because Zara's story is just getting started, and trust me, you don't want to miss what happens when she meets the grandmother. The next day, I woke to sunlight streaming through unfamiliar windows and my body aching everywhere. Between my legs, my thighs, my hips, but it was a good ache. A reminder. I was no longer a virgin. I'd been claimed by 3 men. Thoroughly and completely. And God help me, I'd loved every second of it. The door opened quietly. Kai appeared with a tray. "You're awake." "Good." We were starting to worry. "What time is it?" I asked, my voice rough. "Almost 1 p.m. You slept 13 hours. 13 hours? I tried to sit up and gasped as my body protested. Kai was beside me immediately, helping me up, arranging pillows. "Easy. You're going to be sore for a few days." We were thorough. Heat flooded my face as memories returned in vivid detail. "That's one way to put it," I managed. Kai set the tray across my lap. "Soup, tea, fruit. Eat. You need to regain your strength." "Where are your brothers?" "Handling business." They didn't want to leave, but some things required immediate attention. "They'll be back soon." I ate slowly, trying to process everything. Last night had been intense, overwhelming, transformative. I'd given myself to them completely. But what did that mean now? "You're overthinking again," Kai observed. "I can see it." I'm just trying to understand what happens now, I said. Now we continue, Kai said simply. You're our wife. We're your husbands. We build a life together. For 1 year, I reminded him. The contract says 1 year. Kai's expression darkened. Do you really think after last night, after what we shared, that we'll let you walk away in a year? The contract says. Forget the contract, Kai interrupted. Last night changed everything. You're ours now, Zara. Not because of a piece of paper. Because you chose us. Because we claimed you. Because you belong with us. You don't own me, I said, anger flaring. You're right, Kai agreed. You're not property. You're family. Our wife. The woman we're falling in love with. And family doesn't leave. You don't love me, I protested. You barely know me. I know you're brave enough to sell yourself to save your family. I know you challenge us instead of just submitting. I know the sounds you make when you come. I know how you taste, how you feel. If that's not the beginning of love, what is? Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I opened it and felt my blood run cold. The message contained a photo of my mother outside Grady Hospital. Taken that morning. Below it, your new husband's made dangerous enemies. Enemies who know how to hurt them through you. Leave Seoul now or everyone you love pays the price. Kai, I said, my voice shaking as I showed him the phone. What is this? Who would threaten my mother? Kai's expression went from soft to lethal in an instant. He took the phone, read the message, his jaw clenching. Get dressed, he said, his voice cold in a way I'd never heard. We need to tell Jax and Ryu immediately. Someone just made a very serious mistake. Within 20 minutes, all 3 brothers were gathered in what they called the office, but looked more like a command center. Multiple monitors, computer systems, weapons mounted on the wall. I sat wrapped in a robe, watching them transform from passionate lovers into the dangerous mafia heirs everyone feared. It's the Park Syndicate, Jax said after making several calls in rapid Korean. They've been wanting our territory in Seoul for years. They must think threatening our wife will make us weak. They're wrong, Ryu said flatly. It makes us lethal. My mother, I said, my voice breaking. They threatened my mother. She has nothing to do with this. She's in Atlanta getting ready for cancer surgery. Which is exactly why they targeted her, Kai explained. They know we'd burn the world to protect you. And they know you'd sacrifice yourself to protect your family. So what do we do? I asked. You do nothing, Jax said firmly. You stay here where we can protect you. We handle the Park Syndicate. Permanently. I can't just hide while my mother's in danger. You can and you will, all 3 brothers said simultaneously. This is our world, Ryu continued. We know how to navigate it. You don't. If you try to help, you'll only make things worse. Then what was the point of last night? I demanded, standing. What was the point of claiming me, making me yours, if you're just going to shut me out when things get dangerous? Last night was about making you family, Jax said, moving to cup my face. And family protects each other. Right now, the best way to protect you is to keep you safe while we eliminate the threat. How? I asked. How do you eliminate an entire syndicate? The brothers exchanged dark glances. You don't want to know the details, Kai said quietly. Yes, I do, I insisted. If I'm really your wife, really part of this family, then I deserve to know what you're going to do in my name. Silence stretched. Then Jax spoke, his voice devoid of emotion. We're going to find everyone involved in threatening you. We're going to make an example of them that's so brutal, so complete, that no one will ever threaten a Kim family member again. You're going to kill them, I said. All of them. Yes, the brothers confirmed without hesitation. Women too. Children? The Park Syndicate is mostly men, Ryu said. We don't hurt children. Ever. That's a line we don't cross. But the men who made this decision, who approved threatening your mother, they're already dead. They just don't know it yet. How can you be so calm about murder? I asked, feeling sick. Because it's necessary, Jack said simply. In our world, you show strength or you die. The Parks attacked our family. If we don't respond definitively, others will think we're weak. More attacks will come. Your mother, your brother, they'll never be safe. This is how we protect you, Zara. This is what your safety costs. The reality hit me like a physical blow. These men who'd been so gentle with me last night were cold-blooded killers. I think I'm going to be sick, I whispered. Ryu guided me to a bathroom, held my hair while I vomited, rubbed my back with gentle hands. I know this is hard, he said softly. I know this isn't the life you chose. But it's the life you're in now. And we'll do whatever it takes to keep you safe, even if you hate us for it. I don't hate you, I said, wiping my mouth. I'm terrified of you. Fear is honest, Ryu said. We can work with fear. Hate would destroy us. Back in the command center, Jax was coordinating with his men in rapid Korean. Ryu was on his laptop, tracking something. Kai was on the phone, his expression focused and deadly. Your mother is being moved to a secure location as we speak, Jax said, hanging up. Your brother too. They'll be protected by our best people until this is over. Can I call her? I asked. Let her know I'm okay? No, Jack said firmly. No contact. The Parks might be monitoring. We can't risk them tracing anything back to the safe house. So I just sit here and do nothing while my family is in danger and you're out committing murder? That's exactly what you do, Jack said, his voice hard. Because that's what keeps everyone alive. I hate this, I said, tears streaming down my face. I hate feeling helpless. We know, Kai said, pulling me into his arms. But Zara, this threat existed before you married us. The Parks have wanted war for years. They just used you as an excuse. If anything, your presence gives us more motivation to end this permanently. How long? I asked. How long until it's over? 36 hours, Jack said with certainty. Maybe less. We move fast when family is threatened. Besties, can you feel the tension? Zara married into a world she doesn't understand, and now she's watching the men she gave herself to plan actual murder. If you're invested in this story, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me, should Zara stay or run? Let's continue. 36 hours later. The brothers left in shifts, never leaving me alone. Kai stayed the first night, holding me while I cried. Ryu took the second shift, distracting me with movies and conversation. Jax was gone both nights, coordinating the attack. When he finally returned on the third morning, he was covered in blood. I gasped, rushing to him. Are you hurt? Oh God, Jax. Not my blood, he said tiredly, stopping me from touching him. It's over. The Park Syndicate is finished. Your family is safe. You're safe. How many? I asked. How many people died? 19, Jack said flatly. All men. All directly involved in the organization. We were surgical. Precise. No collateral damage. 19 people, I repeated numbly. 19 people are dead because of me. No, Jack said firmly, gripping my shoulders. 19 people are dead because they threatened my wife. Because they thought they could attack my family without consequences. Their deaths are on them, not you. He released me, heading toward the bathroom. I need to shower. Wash this away. Then we need to talk. After he'd cleaned up, all three brothers gathered with me in the living room. They looked exhausted but satisfied. The Park Syndicate is extinct, Ryu said. Their operations are being absorbed by our allies. Their territory is divided among families loyal to us. Seoul is more stable now than it's been in years. And my family? I asked. Safe, Kai confirmed. They're back in Atlanta. Under surveillance, but they'll never know it. They think they were in protective custody during a police investigation. They have no idea what really happened. So we just go back to normal? I asked. After all this, we just pretend everything is fine? Nothing about this is normal, Jack said. But yes, we move forward. That's what you do in this life. Handle the threat. Protect your own. Move forward. I don't know if I can do this, I admitted. Live this life. Watch you come home covered in blood. Knowing what you're capable of. You can, the brothers said together. Because the alternative is watching your family die, Kai continued. And we know you'd never choose that. We're not asking you to love what we do, Ryu added. We're asking you to accept that we do it to protect you. To protect us. To protect the life we're building together. I looked at these three men. My husbands. My lovers. My protectors. My executioners. I thought about Mom, safe in Atlanta, preparing for her surgery. About my brother, planning his college applications. All possible because these dangerous men had claimed me. Okay, I said finally. I accept it. I don't like it. I might never like it. But I accept that this is who you are. What you do. And I accept that I'm part of this now. Relief flooded all three faces. Thank you, Jack said. For understanding. For staying. I'm not saying I'm staying past the year, I warned. The contract still ends in 11 months. A lot can happen in 11 months, Kai said with a slight smile. Like what? I challenged. Like you could fall in love with us, Ryu said simply. Really fall in love. Like we're already falling in love with you. You don't love me, I protested weakly. We spent the last 36 hours committing murder to protect you, Jack said. We'd burn the world to keep you safe. If that's not love, what is? I had no answer. Because deep down, terrifyingly, I was starting to feel the same way. 6 months passed in a blur. The contract had been extended indefinitely by mutual agreement. I hadn't returned to Atlanta except for supervised visits. I'd become a Kim in every way that mattered. And now I stood in the bathroom, staring at a positive pregnancy test. I didn't know whose biologically. Didn't care. The baby belonged to all three of them. Created from our love, our passion, our impossible family. Zara? Kai's voice from the bedroom. You okay? I opened the door, held up the test, watched his face transform from concern to joy to something that looked like reverence. We're having a baby, I said. Kai pulled me into his arms, held me like I was precious and breakable. Jax. Ryu, he called. Get in here now. Within seconds, all three brothers crowded into the bathroom, staring at the test. At me. At their future made real. Grandmother is going to be so happy, Ryu said, tears in his eyes. She's going to live just out of spite to meet this baby. Our baby, Jax repeated, pulling me against his chest. Our wife. Our family. Everything we never thought we'd have. I love you, I said, finally ready to admit it. All three of you. I don't know when it happened, but I love you. We love you too, they said together. We have since that first night when you crashed into our lives and changed everything. We told grandmother the next day at the family estate. She sat in her wheelchair, looking frielier than 6 months ago but no less sharp. Finally, she said in Korean, which I now understood. I was beginning to think you three were incompetent. Grandmother. Kai protested. What? I'm old. I can say what I want. She beckoned me closer. Come here, child. I approached, and she took my hand, placing it over my still flat stomach. This baby will be loved, she said, switching to English. Protected. Raised to be strong, like their mother. You've done well, Zara. Better than I hoped. Thank you, grandmother, I said. Don't thank me yet. Now the real work begins. Raising a Kim heir is no easy task. She smiled, sharp and satisfied. But I think you're up for it. That night, they made love to me again. Gentler now, reverent, celebrating the life we'd created. You're everything, Jax murmured against my skin. Our whole world, Kai agreed. Forever, Ryu promised. You're ours forever now. No more contracts. No more time limits. Just us. Just family. And lying there between them, their hands on my stomach where our baby grew, I realized he was right. I'd signed a contract to save my family. But somewhere along the way, I'd found a new family. One built on blood and violence and impossible love. Was it healthy? Probably not. Was it conventional? Definitely not. But it was mine. They were mine. And I was theirs. Forever. Fam, if you made it this far, you're the real MVP. This story of Zara and her 3 mafia husbands went places I wasn't sure we could go, but here we are. Before you click away, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit that subscribe button right now. We bring you stories like this every single day, and you don't want to miss them. Second, smash that like button if this story made you feel something. Whether it was shock, heat. Let me know you felt it. And third, drop a comment telling me what moment hit you hardest. Was it the wedding night? The Park Syndicate massacre? The pregnancy reveal? Or was it when Zara finally admitted she loved them? I want to know which brother is your favorite, Jax, Kai, or Ryu. Your engagement means everything and helps us bring you these addictive stories every single day. Thank you for riding this roller coaster with Zara and her Mafia Triplet husbands. Remember, sometimes the most dangerous love is the most worth fighting for. See you in the next story, besties.